Hello, everyone, and welcome to Facebook Ads, the podcast with me, Nick Boddington, and James Urquhart, episode 40. Today, James and I are going to be discussing e-com businesses and why this is the time. So, if depending on when you're listening to this, it might not be the time. Some might listen to this in like next February, but we're at the end of July, 2021, and summer's just literally started. School holidays, restrictions have just been lifted in the UK from the pandemic, and it's gone a bit slower, hasn't it, James? Basically, for some businesses, it has. A lot of there are clients of ours that haven't, but the overall thing is that it has gone a bit quieter, and we're going to discuss why, what you need to check, and basically how to get ready. Anything to add there? Morning, James.
Morning, Nick. Anything to add? No. I think that you've summed that up pretty eloquently. It's
Okay.
it's not a time to worry. I wouldn't say it's a time to go, oh no, let's stop everything that's been working for the last 6 months, 2 years, however long that's been. Because like you said before, we were chatting before we jumped on here, is that as long as the statistics are showing that it's working, why would you stop?
Exactly. I think the problem is that we've had this, like with the last episode was called the gravy train. We've ridden this gravy train for a year, and now a lot of things have been happening at once. If you're in the UK, you'll know that we've just had a heat wave. The school holidays started last Friday. Right now, mum and dad or whatever probably aren't on their phone as much. Like, really not that much at all, because they've now got kids at home, they've gone away in the UK, or they may have gone away abroad. We do have this like summer lull, and that's not lol, laugh out, lull, Lull, not lol. So it's a summer lull, and I've had a couple of clients who've basically been panicking, and their order volume's gone down and blah blah. So it's okay, right? Well, let's just look at the stats. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the stats that I want you to look at and see if it's all where it is. If it's all in the right sort of place, and it just comes down to less people coming online, or less people at the end making the purchase because their intent isn't quite there, or they're just not really right for it, whatever. As long as all these sort of stats kind of are all right, then you need to make everything manageable. And stop panicking now, because we have got quarter 4 coming up, and quarter 4 is shopping season. So it's people getting ready for Black Friday, Cyber Mondays, Christmas, all these sort of things. You're going to start finding that a lot of advertisers are going to go onto the platform. It's going to start getting more expensive. It might be a bit different this year because we've got this restrictions lifted, and the platform has got a lot busier right now anyway, so people have seen prices go up. It might be that you're used to those higher prices going into quarter 4. But so let's go into just some simple stats, which we're going to reiterate. For those of you who always listen to the podcast, you might know these stats, and it's good if you know these off by heart. And it's boring because it means you know them. But right, so you've got an ad going out, and you're selling a piece of jewelry or whatever. Yeah, 49 quid. What you need to be looking for is, on the creative, on your hooks, do you have an offer? But is the people coming in from the ad clicking through? I want you to start looking at not just the link clicks, but I want you to look at the landing page views. And the difference between those is a link click is someone clicking somewhere on the ad, and a landing page view is them having enough time on a mobile or desktop to actually have that page load up and staying there. And it's around about 6 seconds when a landing page view kind of kicks in. So you'll always find a discrepancy between landing page views and link clicks. Link clicks might likely be 100. Landing page views will be probably around the 70 mark. So from the landing page views, let's make it easy numbers. Let's say 130 link clicks and 100 landing page views. James is laughing now because I'm going to keep to nice even numbers. Otherwise, my maths is just going to go off. So, and I'm not the best. I've always said if I was on Dragon's Den, I'm the one with the calculator. I still watch this now. I still watch. Actually, no, I don't. That's a lie. I hate Dragon's Den. I hate watching it. But if I do watch it and it's on because there's a really thing to do at someone's house and they happen to watch it, I'm always still like this. How are they just figuring that out then with their little Montblanc pen? Like they got a little piece of paper, haven't they? A little notebook. And they're just like, oh, okay, so yeah, so so you want okay, so 68% of the company, he wants 2.3 million. I'm like, how much does he want then? I literally,
I was on
guys, how much does he want?
I was on a call yesterday with a new client, and we were going through some stats, and I knew the stat, and it took over 90 seconds to get a calculator and figure it out.
Yeah, that's me.
Just sat there. That is you. Bless.
Yeah.
But anyway,
hey,
let's keep it.
Right. So from that, so 130 link clicks, 100, and so you also want your ads manager set up like this. So you need to have link clicks, you need to have a landing page view column, you need to have an add to cart column, you need to have initiate checkout column, and you need to have a purchase column, and you need to have a ROAS column. So those, without going any further, those are the most important ones for you as an e-com business to have in your ads manager. 100 landing page views. Of those landing page views, we are looking for 10%, an average of 10% to be adding to cart. Now, you might find that if your product is being picked up well and you are and you're selling it for like, I don't know, 29 quid, you're probably going to have a really good add to cart ratio. So you might be seeing like 30% is in your add to cart, and that's absolutely fine. You've got more to go at. But remember, with the add to cart, a lot of people add to cart. Think of your own shopping habits, what you're doing online. I know that I bought some wine not so long back, actually. I say 2 months ago. It's only just got delivered. It's ridiculous. But I went onto 5 different websites and added to cart in each website because they were all doing such different delivery. So I don't know if a lot of these sites use Shopify, and one of the things that Shopify is just I hate about it is that I believe that you can help your add to cart rate if all the prices are on your add to cart page, not, oh, we'll tell you how much we're going to charge you for delivery at checkout. It's an absolute pain in the ass. But 10% we are looking for in your add to cart ratio from landing page to add to cart. Of that 10%, the people who are literally taking it a little bit more seriously and want your product, 50% of them are going to bounce. So we're looking for another 50% go through to checkout. So we're 100 in the landing page. We're now at 10 in your add to cart. So you can see how so many people have already bounced, which is really annoying, isn't it, from an e-com point of view? But we're now playing with 10. We've now got 5 have gone into initiate checkout. And from initiate checkout, we want 70 to 80%. 80% is the best, really, but you want 70 to 80% on average to go through to the purchase. So you're looking for what? 3 purchases, 4 purchases of this. So that's what you're looking for every 100 people that go onto open your landing page. You are looking for 3 to 4 purchases of that. Now, if your stats are around those sort of areas, then you're all right. If you aren't in those areas, then you need to start looking at what you can do, reverse engineering it to try and get more people into the funnel doing the things that you want to do so you can keep those stats right. So if you are getting those sort of stats around about, like if you've got 45 in your add to cart to initiate checkout instead of 50, that's not too bad. You now need to start prepping for Q4 because of what's happening on your website isn't bad. But the shopping habits of the people at the moment for the next 4 weeks, 5 weeks are going to be a bit down on us. So we just need to ride it out. But what I would do is, and what I was saying to my clients is, now be manageable. Choose a manageable budget. So you are going to find that your business is going to be tighter. Your cash flow is going to be tighter. So just make your budgets more manageable. In the good times, yeah, you're flying through. You're putting 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, maybe even more into your ad budget every month. If it's tight now, bring it down. Bring it down to 10, 20 pounds a day, but don't turn them off. Just keep it. It doesn't mean your business. So this is the thing, James. A couple of people are, I just don't know if this works. I think I'm just going to knock it all on the head. It's like, no, because it has worked. And that's the thing, these smaller businesses, it's some big decisions, isn't it, when you're a small business, on how much money you're going to spend on these, what returns you're expecting.
Yeah, but like you said, if those stats are still stacking up, why has it suddenly become unprofitable? Now, is it because the average order value has decreased by 40%? So if it has, why is that? Is that something to do with your own product line? Have you changed your products? Or is it just, like we said, there's external factors that are happening right now. So especially in the UK, restrictions have eased. So, we're pretty much back to normal. The kids are on holidays for 6 to 8 weeks. So, suddenly you've got to spend money entertaining them, and which, we know as parents, isn't the cheapest thing in the world, is it? Let's be honest.
Well, yeah,
So
you and I as parents, I'm holding back on it because I've got, my younger ones at home. I'm going to do activities. Suddenly that activity is 20 quid, 30 quid, doing this and that. Want some food
that's
in
a
the evenings.
fortune.
It's getting out of the house. Like, you're literally, for that period of time, you are literally spending hundreds, including holidays, if not thousands, on entertaining kids.
Yes, it's a fortune. So when you've got those external factors, are they really wanting to buy a piece of jewelry or a new pair of sunglasses? I'm sure they want to, but
And they're
actually, have
looking,
they
aren't
got
they, James? And they're looking. They're on the website looking.
and yeah, yeah, but have they got the disposable income? The reality is, right now, especially with people coming off furlough, or all the stuff that's happened in the last year, maybe now isn't the time for them to make those purchases. So when we go back a few episodes ago and we discussed, actually, when you segment your ads, what are they there to do, and what's the objective of those ads? Have you got some that are here for awareness and brand awareness, and have you got some that are there to purchase? If you want to reduce your budgets, but your market isn't buying right now, still be in front of the phases, still get in front of them, but have a different objective. Because if you're just going into the summer going, I want to spend X and create Y, right now probably isn't the time because of those reasons. It's not that people aren't going to buy, because clearly people are still purchasing online, and we're seeing people still make, some very large purchases, high ticket item purchase. But if these impulse buys just aren't, cutting the mustard at the moment, because it's just, again, the time of the year, set a different objective for your ads, set a different budget, and go into it like we discussed a few weeks ago, which is this going to be more of a brand awareness piece, and is this a flyer going through someone's door? But it's not. It's on a digital space. That's what I would do personally, because you're still going to get purchased for it, longer term, but you're just going looking at it as a different objective. And I know it's hard because people, they put the money in something and they're used to seeing X come out. But you've just got, we've had the gravy train, now isn't the time to be looking at it. So, so just a 1X from Y,
Yeah. Well, my Canadian,
it's just not the time.
So shout out to Royal in Canada. I was on a call with her this week, and we were having a similar conversation, and she sells bath bombs. And she set up an ad, and she was like, "Oh, I don't know." No, I think she turned it off. Correct me if I'm wrong, Royal. She'll be sitting there thinking, "No," but she may have turned it off. And I looked at it and thought, "Why have you turned this off?" So we just really quickly did those stats that we've just gone over, and I was like, "These stats stack up." The problem is, she'd done, let's say I think she'd had like 5 orders in a kind of short period of time, but those orders were a small value. So they're like $25 each. So she'd only done $100. So her return was like, I don't know, 1.9 ROAS or something like that, or maybe a bit more, maybe a 2.5, but she needed it at like 3.5. So you go onto the website, you see what the link is. And the problem is with a lot of e-com stuff is that you can't control what someone's going to buy. We can try and manipulate that sort of transition from the ad to where we want them to go, and hope that they're going to buy something bulkier. But these people are basically, what they ended up doing is choosing 3 bath bombs, which comes to about $25, putting it in their basket and ordering it. Great. But she needs high value. So it's like, okay, so she's got some bundles in there. Can we put those bundles in? But those bundles are dropping further down the page. How do we get those to the top? So it's like, okay, well, let's mirror the ad. Let's duplicate that ad exactly how it is, but let's change the link to go to only a bundle pack. And let's see if we can get those people buying the bundle packs. It might be that the bundle packs are too expensive. So you've got to find another medium ground of saying, well, if I know 5 is a very, very small data point, but if 5 people have ordered 3 bath bombs, maybe it's worth doing a little bundle pack of 5 bath bombs, and that's $37 or $40 or some whatever it would work out at. So they're not having to spend 75 or $100 on getting loads. It's just more smaller little bundles. It's hard for us because especially when I'm on calls with consultants, it's like you want to, like I had another one yesterday, and German company, e-com, selling secondhand like vintage clothing and stuff like that. Really cool. It wasn't done like badly. Like the website looked awesome. The logo, the branding, it's all really, really cool. But the problem was his add to cart was like falling out. And the reason it was falling out, and he knew it, was because it's vintage, you might only have one item of a dress, and it might only be an extra, extra small. So everyone who's gone onto it, suddenly, if they don't realize, and I said that you have to make out that the consumer is stupid, they've gone, oh, I like that dress. They've gone it, oh, they've added to cart, and then realize, oh, it's actually, these things just happen. So there's a massive bounce rate on it. And you can't, unfortunately, it's like you want to be, yes, we do this every day. And yes, we like to class ourselves as knowing what we're doing. We're experts and people listen to this podcast, but we're not magician. None of us are magician. We can't just make something happen. It's trial and error. And, when you look at these successful companies, my team were talking about ASOS yesterday, how the delivery is so quick, how they make it so quick, easy to buy. You're talking about a multi-million pound business that has some of the best people in it. And there's a reason why they're there. They've trialed and errored every single bit over and over again until it's like clockwork. It's just hard for a small business to do that, isn't it? Because a small business doesn't have endless amount of funds. You know, we see it with some of the big businesses that we deal with. You came off the phone the other day. And it's like, oh yeah, we'll do a test with that, and they're throwing tens of thousands at a test, and it makes such a difference. And as a small business, it's like it's a different world, isn't it? And you're very emotional to your product and your business. So spending 300 pounds a day or 20 pounds a day, a big difference is.
It's hard. It's hard because you've got, unfortunately, that emotions there. And that's the bit where, like that bath bomb company you just spoke about then, the stats are adding up. All that's happened is that the average order value has decreased, which is really frustrating because nothing's changed. The ad's still working at the same breath it was. It's just that those consumers now have reduced the volume of bath bombs they're buying. So it's not the ad, is it? So it's not the ad. Again, it's that external factor, whether that's, do you do bundles? Do you do free delivery? Whatever that may be, to increase that average orders value. That's what it comes down to, because it's not the ad again. When you look at that particular client, the ad isn't the issue. The issue is the consumer and what they're buying. And like you said, we can't tell the consumer what to buy, but we can try as an e-com business our best to manipulate what they are going to buy. A lot of e-commerce shops do it, but a lot don't. Is that when you're going to purchase, give them options. These little add-ons like you would when you're in a shop, which is when you go to the supermarket and you get your weekly groceries. When you go down, you've got chocolate bars, chewing gums, mints, haven't you? Because they know that people will pick them up as an impulse buy. If someone's in that buying cycle on your website, you need to be doing the same. Can you sell them some socks? If it's that German company, they've got cheap socks they can whack on to increase the average order value, which they've got a high margin on. What is there stuff that you can do again, which is outside the ads, which is going to increase that order value, so that yes, right now in the hard times of it is, you're actually going to see a better return. But even better when it's back to usual, and especially going into Q4 when people are buying habits are strong, what more can you do if you've got those extras?
Yeah.
But it's not the ad, is it?
No, as long as your ad stacks up and those stats are there and you can look at it rationally and go, okay, I understand we're getting traffic to the website, 10% are adding to cart, but we are falling out at initiate checkout or purchase, is like James said earlier on. The Mrs. Mum who's in Devon this weekend, she is sitting on her phone at 8 o'clock at night, but she's also flying through cash daily. So suddenly that £30 purchase is I'll do that next month. I'll stick
Nick,
it mad to cart.
I bought 3 ice creams. I was in Devon at the weekend, as you know. 3 ice creams, £8.90.
Yeah.
I felt sick, and not because I had loads of ice cream either. £8.90. That's just fancy an ice cream. £8.90.
You know.
You're flying through it. You're absolutely flying through it. So,
Yeah.
Mrs. Mummy's in Devon. No, she's probably not going to buy you jewelry this month. And she's probably not going to until September when the kids are back.
Well, it's true. That's what everyone needs to think about this. Like next week, I'm on off, aren't I? So I'm staying at my sister's away, so I'm staying at hers when taking my 14-year-old. So we got, it's like being on holiday, but you're still working in the mornings, and you'll pop out for a few hours and do some stuff, which is fine. So it's like best of both worlds. But I know that that 12 till 4 that I'm popping out to go and do some stuff is probably going to cost me 30 or 40 quid a day. By the time I've paid for some parking somewhere, then it's hungry because they're constantly hungry. So you're having some lunch, there's 20 quid. It's constant. So this James and I are now moaning about family life, but the whole country is doing the same. What is it? Something ridiculous stat as to how many people have young children in this country up to like the age of 15? A lot. And they're all doing the same thing. So just be patient. It's going to come back round again. But at the same time, realize that the platforms got busier. But, look at other things. Look at other things that outside of online marketing you can help promote your business. I mean, this is really, we're talking to on this, most of our listeners are small businesses and stuff. We're not going to do what the big companies do, because no one in the big company cares, because they've just given a massive budget and they're not emotional. That's why it's, for an agency, we work, it's nice working with big companies like that, because they're not emotional to it's like, oh, there you go, there's 50 grand, test it out. If that doesn't come back, the guy didn't work. Right, I'll should we spend some money on. But in small business, like, so the lady who does the bath bombs, she's had some success. She's had some success. Love that. She'll laugh at that. She's had some success from going to like these little farm shows in Canada, where people turn up at the park and there's lots of stands. So they're doing those. She's like, well, can we use Facebook ads to promote them? It's like, well, yeah. Why don't we do an ad on a local radius of where you're going to these different things, and do a bit of an awareness or reach campaign to get to people, to get them to go to that thing, or make them aware of it, or get them to buy online and they can pick it up from your stand. Because in Canada, they have really high delivery charges. So it's like, okay. And she's also thought about, can they deliver to local areas? So they said on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, Thursday night, they can go out for 2 hours and do local deliveries to certain areas. So they can say, buy online today, or and we'll deliver it to your house tomorrow night. It's thinking outside the box. So she knows that delivery is high, but there's people still wanting to buy the product because the ad carts are still there. Do you see what I mean?
But what's good about that is that she's looking at it. There's a different objective for the ad. Because it's going to be very hard unless everyone that she goes to her stand, she asks, did you see us on Facebook? Which just isn't going to happen. That ad, the objective isn't to get purchases per se, it's to get people to know that she's going to be at that set location that weekend. And yes, obviously the overarching objective is, yes, we want to sell via the farm show. But the ad's not there to do that. It's an indirect, yes, it's probably going to help, but the objective isn't I'm putting in X and I'm getting Y. And I think it's just working out, again, from these ads, what are your objectives? And are there things that you can be doing that, like, that's a good idea, isn't it? Why can't you be, if you are going to a local farm show, or, a local, whatever it may be, why can't you promote yourself in that way?
So you're looking at, so objectives is, also if you're getting all the website traffic, start reaching out to these people through a reach campaign to an audience being built, and very cheaply showing them other products whilst we're in this time where they may not be coming back to purchase now, but when they do want to come back and purchase, they're going to come back and purchase from you because they remember, because they see your ads. So you can literally, by having to do that, set up an audience of website visitors, and do a reach campaign objective, choosing that audience of website visitors as your audience that you're going to send the ad to. Do a little catalog ad, do a carousel ad, whatever an ad might be, but on a small budget of £5 a day, and just let Facebook show that. And on a reach campaign in the ad set page, if you go all the way down to the bottom, you'll see a little blue tab that you can click, which opens up your attribution window, and you can put in there, I want them to see my ad 3 times on a 7-day period, or 1 day at a time on a 3-day period. So that's a little trick you can do on a reach campaign. Second to that is, if you've got people, people purchasing from you, now's the time to maybe not worry so much about getting new customers. Try and resell to the people that you're doing. And now you should be doing that all the time anyway, through email campaigns and things like that. If you've got someone purchase from you and you've been given the consent to email these people, you should be doing that. Not just most e-com business that we speak to are literally doing a add to cart, oh, you forgot this in your basket email, and a thank you email for the purchase or something, and that's it. You don't. I mean, one of the things that now when we're taking new clients on board is they buy from us an email sequence, and that email sequence could go like an email out once every 3 days or every 1 day, whatever. Obviously, the amount of emails depends on the cost, etc. But it's one of the things that are standard now in our funnel building with all of our clients, because email's really, really, really powerful still. Do not think we all every day are on email, whether we're on our desktop at work, when we're on our phone pinging on Gmail, Hotmail, whatever it is, or your work email on your phone. We are all checking our emails constantly. And if you can get someone who's purchased from you and they allow you to send them an email, you've got to keep sending them emails. It's cheap as chips. It's like 0.01p to send someone an email. Do it.
Yeah, everyone probably knows by listening to this how much we all love email, but it is important because you've always got them then. You don't have to keep, if something, budget is so tight and you're not able to run Facebook ads or Google ads or whatever that may be, you've still got their details. You can still communicate with that consumer. So even in times like I said, it's hard. Kids are off. People have got less income. Is there a way that, again, and going back onto objectives, can you run a campaign which is actually to collect email addresses?
Do a competition.
So it's a totally different objective. Do a competition, or just, hey, download this free guide on how to use a bath bomb. I don't know. Obviously it's very product dependent.
Well, Janice did it. A Biltong,
is there a
Biltong company. She just had win a box of Biltong. It's worth 27 quid. She's built a landing page which looks great, and she has people enter the competition to win Biltong, and then she's got their email address. She even makes some sales out of the competition because people end up looking at the website and maybe making the old purchase. So you're not all out. And then it's looking at the stats that James would do in saying, okay, well, every month we're able to, for X amount of money, we collect 300 emails. And now we're just building up an email list of people who are interested in that product because they've entered the competition to win the product. Yeah,
again, it's just looking at it, what else can we do that's going to add value to the business? Not today, but tomorrow. What we've also got to remember here is that our attribution window is now 7 days, which we've all seen the effect when, we have to. And I still believe that even though our ads manager is telling us one thing, what's actually happening within that business and those purchases are actually a totally different matter. So I still think that Facebook ads are working as they were, 6 months ago. I just think it's what we're being shown, because that's the nature of the beast now. The attribution window is now 7 days. That's what we're seeing. And I think people are getting a little bit worried. But then you need to, like I said, why can't you change the objectives on some ads? Do a competition, or somehow collect email addresses. So you can actually attribute a value to each email address. If you know the lifetime value of every customer is, let's just say, £100, and you're collecting 100 emails, you can very quickly figure out the value of that email list to you. Now, if that email list has only cost you, let's say, £2 an email, but the average order, the lifetime value is £100, only 2 of those 100 emails, you've broken even. You then got another 98 customers, which is nearly 10 grand worth of profit based on lifetime value. And the only cost you've got moving forward, if you were just to market them via email, is like you said, the 0.001p for an email send. And obviously your time to do it on MailChimp or Mailgun or whatever system you use. That's it. It's a very different way of looking at it. And yes, it's not an overnight success going, I've spent X and I've created Y, but that longevity is more important than a quick win. And I think e-commerce businesses need to, and I know we've said this a lot over the last couple of weeks, is that they need to be looking across the pond in terms of lead generation businesses and how they operate, not only from an ad perspective, but actually how they look at customers and how they look at their lifetime values and how can you cross sell, how can you upsell. Because I think a lot of e-commerce businesses get into the rut of, they bought a product from me, of course they'll come back. Well, they might not. That's the reality. They might not come back because stuff happens. But if you're not in their constant eye line, whether that's via email or via ads with a different objective potentially, they will go somewhere else because we just do. We're forgetful.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, well, I think we need to wrap that up there because you have a call in 2 minutes' time.
I do.
So thanks very much, everyone, for listening. Shout out
Nick,
to myself. Yes.
Nick, 1 second before you start giving yourself a shout out. For people that listen to this, can you do me a favor? Can you please review this podcast? Because we have very, very little reviews, but we have so many people that listen. We've now hit 10,000 downloads this week. So people that are listening, I know it's a bit of a ball ache, but if you use Apple or Spotify, whatever it is, can you just literally whack on now, click 5 stars, put James is an absolute legend, and then just leave? That'd be fantastic. Yeah. But the 5 stars are the more important one.
Is it the 5 stars that's the more important? Is that what the machines are looking at to get us further up?
Correct. Yeah. So people can do that because, like I said, we have a vast amount of listeners now. And we've never actually asked this because we're on episode 40. So if you could, that would be, it really helps out. Yeah.
My little ask then is, I'm starting today to do reels, and I've set myself a little task. And these reels are going to be value reels, like these podcasts, but they're only going to be shorter. And so what I need people to do, if possible, is follow me at Nick Boddington, and it will keep me in line as well. Because if I see my followers go up, I'm going to start going, I've got to get stuff out to them. Just like this podcast, like we can't miss a podcast because we have so many people listening to it now, and we want to deliver good value. And I want to do the same on my Instagram. On my Instagram. There you go. That's what we both are. So I'm just going to keep on like just at Nick Boddington all the time, just to get people to follow me. And keep on reviewing us. That'd be great. Like people say on YouTube, like this video. It helps boost stuff in the algorithm, and we want to get bigger with your help. That's our exchange for the free value that we give.
Right, Nick, I'm going to go. I've got a meeting. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, so just me now. Thanks for listening to the podcast. I hope you got something out of that. But in a conclusion, just chill, check your stats that we've gone over, and keep going. Don't lose your shit. All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.